Horror fans of YouTube, welcome back to Planet Phobia, the channel where we count down the top 100 horror movies of the 2010s decade. Today's episode looks at the 7th best film from every year of the decade to see which one rules supreme as we work our way to number 1. The Woman wasn't on my radar until recently, and it stands as a really good horror movie. Don't get me wrong, it's got some touchy subject matter and will not be everyone's cup of tea. Starring Pollyanna McIntosh, a very underrated actress in my opinion, she shines in this role as the last surviving member of a cannibalistic cult. She basically gets hunted down and trapped by a pure sociopath who uses her for his own pleasure. He almost sees himself as a god and wants the woman to be his project. The son in this movie gives off serial killer vibes as well. Needless to say, the woman eventually breaks her bonds and makes everyone pay for their transgressions. By the time we reach this climax, you're definitely rooting for her, which is strange because she literally is going after a 12-year-old, but that's how unlikable he is, almost like the horror version of Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Check it out for yourself on Amazon Prime.
Oh my.
Stakeland. So here's a fan favorite set in an apocalyptic landscape. Instead of humans being wiped out by disease or zombies, however, Stakeland is a movie about a vampire pandemic. In Stakeland, we follow grizzled vampire hunter Mr. and orphan Martin as they crisscross the country in search of New Eden, a place untouched by the brutal creatures that have taken so much from Mr. and Martin. If vampires weren't bad enough, of course there's also a religious cult known as the Brotherhood that also must be dealt with. As our lead characters pick up more members along the way, can they make it to New Eden and start over, or is the world doomed forever? Find out today on Tubi.
What am I doing with my life? I just want to connect. Why can't I connect with people? Oh, right. It's because I'm dead.
Warm Bodies. This different take on a zombie movie shows us the point of view of the zombie, from being turned to how they live their day-to-day life, from eating brains to gain the memories of their victims to falling in love. Aww. Follow our main characters as they make their way through the wasteland to try and find a home, all while dodging the bonies. Skeletal zombies who have lost all ability to reason and are just looking for their next meal. This one throws in some cool pop culture references and on the surface may not sound like a traditional horror movie. But if you warm up to it, it makes for a good watch. Stream it today on Amazon Prime.
This is an emergency broadcast. There is a viral infection spreading fast through the capital.
Shut up, you soppy tart. Those things out there are zombies.
Cockneys vs. Zombies. This, in my opinion, is one of the better zombie movies to come out in the last 20 years, and it isn't on a lot of people's radar. I always like bringing this one up and hope someone will discover it and enjoy it as much as I do. The opening is pretty cool. 2 construction workers in the East End of London discover a sealed catacomb from 1666, sealed by a decree from King Charles II. And as any good zombie movie fan will know, instead of informing the authorities, they open it up, releasing the zombies inside, causing the infection to spread. This one doesn't take itself too seriously and definitely has a lot of laughs, but that doesn't take away from the plot. We follow a ragtag group of characters on their way to a nursing home to rescue Ray, grandfather of main characters Terry and Andy. Come to find out, the geezers at the home don't really need a lot of help and can hold their own against the undead. Battling their way through London, the survivors need to find a boat and make their way out of the city. Good acting, good zombies, and good laughs equal a good time. Check out Cockneys vs. Zombies for free on Tubi.
There's zombies everywhere. Zombie? What are they on about? Oh, it's a zombie. Oh.
The Taking of Deborah Logan. Alzheimer's can be a very difficult affliction to deal with. As the mind begins to devolve, the symptoms can be confusing for the sufferer and often disturbing to family members coming to terms with their loved ones' changing behaviors. The Taking of Deborah Logan begins with us exploring these topics. Deborah is suffering from Alzheimer's while being cared for by her daughter Sarah. As a small film crew show up to record the life of someone dealing with Alzheimer's, they soon start to notice something is off. Deborah begins speaking in different languages and talking about snakes and sacrifices. The horror premise here is interesting. Normally, this behavior would make you question what's going on, but because Deborah's mind is beginning to fail her, are these strange behaviors just symptoms of Alzheimer's? From here, we unwind a twisted tale of rituals, sacrifices, and eternal life. This movie has a very epic scene of Deborah trying to consume a young girl by unhinging her jaw and devouring her whole, just like a snake. Number 7, The Perfection. This one is my sleeper pick for 2019 horror. A sinister storyline portrayed perfectly that will have you questioning, what the hell did I just watch?
These are fucking alive at me! It's bad! They're fucking bad! What the fuck?
The story starts off with talented young cellist Charlotte dropping out of an exclusive musical school to tend to her ailing mother. Charlotte tries to get back into the scene after the passing of her mother. She finds herself in China where she spends time with a young musical prodigy named Lizzie. The next thing you know, we are going on a hallucinatory horror trip. I'm talking delusional parasitosis and hacking off body parts. Yeah, the volume gets turned up real damn quick in this one. This is such a good movie with so many layers. Once you think you've got it all figured out, wrong answer, and another curveball is thrown your way. Is perfection attainable? Well, I always say don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. After watching this movie, maybe you'll agree. Number 7, The Wailing. I just recently watched this film and it made me update my rankings a bit to make room for this masterfully crafted Korean horror flick. The Wailing is an investment. At 2.5 hours long and in Korean, not everyone is willing to make the investment, but if you do, it pays off. Following a police officer who investigates strange occurrences and murders in his local village, soon finds himself in the middle of the madness as his daughter becomes ill with a mysterious illness. This movie has plenty of action and just enough comedy to break up the tension. The real storyline, though, is the battle between good and evil. This movie blurs the line between the two as a spiritual battle takes place. Can a cure be found? Can the daughter be saved? Can the difference between good and evil be solved, or has time run out? Check out The Wailing today to find out for yourself. Happy Death Day. Earning $125 million at the box office compared to a $5 million budget ain't too shabby. Starring Jessica Rothe as Tree, we follow her as she wakes on the same day stuck in a loop until she can ultimately identify her killer. Very cool premise, seamlessly mixing horror and sci-fi, creating a very modern movie for the aficionado of the macabre. With a sequel dropping in 2019, this franchise is a must-watch and highly recommend it. Number 7, Overlord. Parachuting behind enemy lines on the eve of D-Day to destroy a German radio jamming tower in an old church, our protagonists soon uncover a secret Nazi laboratory. Here, local villagers are subjected to horrible experiments. Their bodies are used to distill a black tar substance that can create super abilities found running underneath the land. This is one of my favorites from 2018, a solid mix between a good old-fashioned war movie and modern horror. I also enjoy Wyatt Russell as an actor too, someone who has been emerging as a great talent in the world of horror. Along with Overlord, Wyatt was featured in last year's Night Swim. I first noticed him on the TV show Lodge 49. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking it out. From start to finish, Overlord was a blast in 2018 and makes for a great watch today.
The sheep bend knot. It's impossible to break.
Pretty handy.
I'm a scout.
Like an actual scout?
Yeah.
Nice things.
Thanks.
Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse, Amazon Prime. This is the second zombie entry to grace today's top 10 list. Scout's Guide is definitely not highbrow horror, but don't be a hater. This is a classic sit back and chill for a couple hours, turn your brain off, and just enjoy some slapstick zombie killing action. Of course, I like to engage my imagination and use my powers of deduction when watching movies like Annihilation or Hereditary, but sometimes I just like to watch a story because it doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's why I love the horror genre, because you can do both things. So in Scout's Guide, we follow a band of friends who happen to be Boy Scouts. When their town is soon overrun by zombies, we follow this ragtag group as they fight their way through the horde to save their classmates who are partying at an abandoned warehouse, unaware of the chaos unfolding outside the walls. That's it for today's episode. Tune in next week when we'll count down movies number 60 to 51. This is Planet Phobia signing off, and until next time, wishing you good luck on your horror journey.